What's up guys, I'm Vocal Strike and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. Last time we finally get to meet the Dark Signers as they have finally made their move. And this time we are going to be taking on the second of the Dark Signers in a whale of a ride. After Divac was defeated in the Shadow Duel, Greiger appeared as the new Dark Signer. He set out to battle Yusei, but he found one of Yusei's old friends instead. Get out of my way. Sorry, pal, but you're not going anywhere. I'm looking for Yusei. Well, you found Crow, and you're not going anywhere until we duel. You're challenging me? Get real. You're not a signer. The only thing that matters is that you're a Dark Signer, and that means you're gonna pay for what you did. Your giant monster and your freaky dark fog have taken everyone from Satellite, including the orphans I was taking care of. They were just innocent kids. They didn't do anything to you. But I guess that's how you guys operate. Well, not anymore, pal. I'm gonna stop you. Since you're so determined to destroy yourself, I'll oblige you. Greiger naturally has an Earthbound Immortal, but I believe that he is still using his same cards that he used in the Fortune Cup. So, you know, Trap Reactor, Spell Reactor, and Summon Reactor. Crow, on the other hand, uses Blackweens. What do we got? Blackween Armor Master and Blackween Silverwind the Ascendant. If I recall correctly, Armor Master was Crow's original ace. So let's take a look at it. Blackween Armor Master is a Winged Beast Synchro Effect. A Winged Beast type Synchro Effect Dark Attribute. Yeah, I'm jumbling over my words a bit. My mistake. Blackween Armor Master is a Dark Attribute Winged Beast type Synchro Effect monster that's level 7 with 2500 attack point and 1500 defense points. Requires one Blackween tuner and one or more non-tuners. Cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacked a monster, you can place one wedge counter on that monster, max 1. You can remove all wedge counters from your opponent's monsters. The attack and defense of those monsters that had wedge counters become 0 until the end of this turn. Six, 7, 8, 9. We only have 7s and 8s. Let's see what else we have. In your hand. Ooh, I may have a play then. And then we can... Oh, normal summon, not special summon. Oops. But Greiger's Earthbound Immortal. Let's see what we got. Is Earthbound Immortal Chaku Chalua, which is a dark attribute, level 10 fish type effect monster with 2,900 attack points and 2,400 defense points. There can only be one Earthbound Immortal monster on the field. If there is no face-up field spell card on the field, destroy this card. Your opponent cannot target this card for attacks. This card can attack your opponent directly. Once per turn, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to half this card's defense points on the field. This card cannot attack during the turn you activate this effect. While this card is in defense position, your opponent cannot conduct their battle phase. Ah, damn it. I let go of the circle button a little too soon. So, Chaku Chalua can be a little bit dangerous. No, I don't want to activate it. Let's get rid of both of your monsters. Swords of Revealing Light, okay. Okay, dead hand. Okay, what was that face down? Fake explosion. Oh. They have to be in the graveyard, not in the field. Oops. So I misread the whole card anyway. No, because I want to be able to synchro summon. Trap Reactor Wi-Fi. Now we can activate Blackween Bayou, the Emblem of Honor. To summon Blackween Armor Master. Its effects are negated, isn't it? But its effects are negated, yep. Okay, let's wail away at him and finish this. I should have had Armor Master be the end, but oh well. During the duel, Greiger realized his enemy wasn't truly the Signers or Goodwin. Greiger attempted to forfeit the duel, but the power of the shadows would not allow him. After the battle was won, Greiger was gravely injured while saving Crow from collapsing debris. Why did you risk your life for me? Because you risked yours so that my family and friends could return to their homeland. Greiger. You must continue to fight the Dark Signers. Stay strong and save your family. You can count on it, Greiger. What they're not mentioning is that in the anime, at least in the dubbed version, Greiger realizes that the reason why the catastrophe happened in his village was because of the Dark Signers, not because of Goodwin. I don't entirely buy it though, because he learns of it from Goodwin's files. It says, he even said that it came straight from the files that Goodwin, that Greiger's village was used as a testing ground to try to by Goodwin to try to summon the Crimson Dragon, which resulted in complete destruction of the village. So, I don't know, like maybe some Dark Signer stuff was involved, perhaps. But, I honestly don't buy it that the Dark Signers themselves were the ones that were involved with the destruction of the village. Now, Yusei gets to rematch Callan in a score to settle. Yusei once again confronted his old friend Callan to settle the score. Good to see you, old friend. I see that you got your duel runner up and running again. I was afraid that you weren't going to give me the opportunity to settle the score after you sold me out. You got it all wrong. I'm no traitor. I have no time for your lies, but I do have time to send you straight to the netherworld. I know the real you is still inside you, Callan. It's time I get him back. What they were talking about is that Yusei, Crow, Callan, and Jack all grew up in the satellite together. But back in the day, the satellite was also run by a bunch of duel games that was making life miserable for everyone. So, Callan, Yusei, Jack, and Crow kind of make their own like little minigame to kind of fight against the other games. Against the other duel games and wipe them out. They were known as the Enforcers. And they succeeded. Every single duel game was defeated and their duel disc and decks were destroyed so that they couldn't hurt anybody. Basically how this worked was that they basically latched on their opponent's duel disc with their own with like, you know, these types of wire hooks to be kind of like these grapple hook things, so that their enemies couldn't escape. And the only way to get out was to win duels. However, the loser's duel disc would get completely destroyed. However, Callan was taking things way too far, as he wanted to go after Sector Security next. He was getting power hungry. He was going crazy. So Jack, Crow, and Yusei all agreed to try to stop him. All the while, a crooked cop, of course, made it look like that Yusei turned traitor, which was not the truth. 3 monsters from your hand. 4, 5, 6, 7. Stardust Dragon, Majestic Star Dragon, and Junk Warrior. Okay, yeah, Majestic Star Dragon is a new Stardust Dragon monster that is also one of a kind that Yusei gets. And what this card requires is that it's actually kind of steep. Majestic Star Dragon is a wind attribute dragon type level 10 synchro effect monster with 3,800 attack points and 3,000 defense points, so fairly powerful. But it requires Majestic Dragon, which is a tuner, Stardust Dragon, which is a synchro monster, and 1 non-tuner. So it already requires 3 monsters. During either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you contribute this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn, and you can activate one of its effects as this card's effect once this turn. During the end phase, target one Stardust Dragon in your graveyard and return this card from the field to the extra deck, then special summon that target. So, you can only have Majestic Star Dragon out for 1 turn. That is it. After that, it's returned to the extra deck and you get Stardust Dragon back, which honestly is not half bad of a synchro monster. But summoning is a little bit on the steep side. What tuners do we have? We have Junk Synchron. Oh, Junk Synchron's all we have. And what did we get rid of? Delta Flyer, which was another tuner. Okay, yeah. Tuning only adds a Synchron tuner monster. But Callan uses Infernity cards, the Infernity archetype. And the Infernity archetype's main gimmick is that their monsters are powerful, but their only true power is only really unleashed when you have no cards in your hand. Please don't be Mirror Force. Infernity Necromancer, which we can't destroy because we're too weak. But Callan's Earthbound Immortal is Earthbound Immortal Kapakapu, which is a dark attribute level 10 fiend type effect monster with 3,000 attack points and 2,500 defense points. There can only be one Earthbound Immortal monster on the field. If there is no face-up field spell on the field, destroy this card. Your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attacks, and this card can attack directly. So all the same things as an Earthbound Immortal. As all the other Earthbound Immortals, I mean. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack points. Yeah, the thing kinda hurts. Oh, so much damage. Oh, so close. So yeah, Kapakapu is definitely a little bit on the dangerous side. Oh wait, no, 1600. I win. You say, I spent years hating you and planning my revenge. I let my anger devour me and I willingly gave myself to the darkness. But in beating me, you did what you set out to do. You saved me. Callan. Don't bat down, you say. No matter what happens, push the shadows back to where they belong. Yeah, Callan actually does realize the truth that Yusei didn't sell him out. Okay, let's take down the third Dark Signer in Destiny's Will. Yusei rushed to meet Roman, the leader of the Dark Signers and Rex Goodwin's brother. Yusei thought this would be their final showdown. I'm glad you made it. I thought you'd be too torn up over what you did to your friend. What I did? Callan chose his own path. I'm not responsible for him. If anyone's to blame, it's you, Roman. You took advantage of a messed up kid. There's no need to get worked up. I wasn't blaming you. We all did exactly what Destiny wanted us to do. You were meant to destroy your friend, just as I was meant to destroy your father. My father? How fascinating that the Signer hoping to defeat me is Professor Fudo's son. You're up against a force you can't begin to comprehend. A force awoken by your father. 20 years ago, your father discovered planetary particles. These particles act like planetary gears, binding otherwise unrelated particles to one another. Your father's team began conducting experiments using planetary particles to build and manipulate greater molecular structures. This led to the discovery of the Energy and the creation of the Energy Reactor. That's when Rex and I joined his team as research assistants. Everyone was excited about the possibilities the reactor was presenting. The research was proceeding smoothly, until that fateful day. Every time we conducted a test with the Energy Reactor, unusual weather events descended on New Domino City. Worried, the professor wanted to put a stop to the experiments and shut the reactor down. I wasn't happy, to say the least. So I did some investigating. I discovered that in the far-off Nazca lines, similar weather conditions were happening at the same time as our tests. So I decided to journey to the Nazca lines to find out as much information as I could. I learned of a local legend where every 5,000 years, powerful spirits rise up and battle there. The Nazca lines were said to be evil spirits that were sealed away, defeated by the Great Dragon during their last battle. I drove out to see these lines for myself where I met a man from Iliaster. Iliaster? He somehow knew of the Energy experiments and said they needed to continue. That's when I heard something unexplainable. It wasn't a voice like me talking to you. It wasn't words. The voice made me understand that the Energy Reactor had the power to break the seals of the Nazca lines and release the Army of Shadows. It was Destiny's instrument, and the voice convinced me that I was the one to play it. I ousted Professor Fudo and destroyed the Energy Reactor, leading to Zero Reverse, a cataclysm so devastating that it split New Domino City in two and opened the door to the Netherworld, which is how the satellite came to be. So the history books were wrong. It wasn't my father's fault that the city was destroyed. No, you say. Your father was a self-righteous boor who couldn't see the magnificence of the Energy Reactor. He was a failure, and you will be too, for I shall resurrect the king of the Netherworld. Okay, a lot to unpack there. So, here's the thing. Yusei's father, the particles known as the, I think like the Yusei particles or pseudo particles. I think they're called Yusei particles, named after his son. So how did Yusei survive the Zero Reverse event? Well, basically, Yusei's father did not make it out of the blast, but he took Yusei, who was, you know, practically a newborn baby at the time, with Stardust Dragon through pod and launched it far away from the blast, protecting and saving Yusei, but at the cost of his own life. That's how Yusei ends up in Satellite. What does this field spell to? But in the manga, Yusei's father isn't even mentioned. He's literally just considered the best duelist in the Satellite Center. That's it. However, in the manga, Roman and Rex are still brothers. But they're also not the assistants to Yusei's father. Zero Reverse also did not happen in the manga. Or if it did, it was never mentioned. Spiderweb. If a monster declares an attack, it is changed its defense position at the end of the damage step. It cannot change its battle position until the end phase of its controller's next turn, while this card remains on the field. As you can probably guess from the name, Roman uses spider-themed cards, whereas in the manga, he used undead-themed cards, like zombies and skeletons. But there is also a bit of a reason for that, but I will get into that later. But Roman Goodwin's Earthbound Immortal is Earthbound Immortal Uru, which is a dark attribute level 10 insect type effect monster with 3,000 attack points and 3,000 defense points. So it has all the same things as all the other Earthbound Immortals. There can only be one Earthbound Immortal monster on the field. If there is no field spell card on the field, destroy this card. Your opponent cannot target this card for attacks, and this card can attack your opponent directly. Once per turn, you contribute one other monster, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of that target until the end phase. So it basically kind of has the power of change of heart. And Roman, like I said, uses spiders, which is also going to get into something that I also kind of want to talk about in that was put in the anime, and it's only in the dubbed anime really, is that Yusei has a fear of insects in the dubbed anime, whereas in the subbed anime he does not have such a fear. And it's a little bit weird because Yusei only really kind of mentions it like, you know, like bugs. Why did it have to be bugs? You know, type of thing. Only when dueling against Roman, and in the first ever duel we actually see Yusei take part in a normal duel, I mean. which was against another insect duelist. However, in the subbed version, he does not have such a fear. And what makes this even weirder is that it's never brought up again. On top of that, later in the anime, Yusei actually uses insect-type monsters in his deck, which I believe is Mirror Ladybug and Level Eater. Actually, let's go ahead and attack, which will activate Spiderweb. Main phase 2. Bring out Junk Warrior. That way we don't have a weaker defense monster. I would like to destroy Spiderweb. But I have no way of destroying Spiderweb at the moment. So, don't know why they decided to give him a fear of bugs, but oh well. This field spell's getting annoying. Dark Spider. Okay, yeah, Synchro Summon with a Dark Signer. Underground Arachnid. Okay, so what did that do? One Dark Tuner and one non-tuner insect type monster. Discard attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step. Once per turn, you can select one face-up monster your opponent controls and equip it to this card. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you could destroy the monster equipped to this card by its effects instead. You can only equip one monster at a time to this card, so kind of like a Relinquish without its I should have played Dark Hole first. I am a fool. Well, so much for that plan. Oh, this is not going well. Infernity Beetle. Was there a card in here that was able to discard one card and target 2 spell or trap cards on the field and destroy it? Ugh. Excuse me. Ugh. Spider. But about tuners with dark signers. In the anime, they did basically what's called a dark tune, which was essentially taking a tuner monster that had negative levels and tune it with a normal non-tuner monster that had regular levels. And basically it was the same as tuning a regular monster, just it had to equal the negative level of the synchro monster. So integers were basically involved. This is not the case in the official card game, thank God. I lost. Round 2. Oh yeah, see, there's level leader. Twin Twisters. Okay, definitely going to save that for the field spell. Graveyard, you can target one level 5 or higher monster you control. Reduce its level by 1 if you do special summon this card. This face-up card on the field cannot be tributed except for a tribute summon. Okay, let's deal with Spider. Oop, nope. Dark Resonator. Still no field spell. There it is. Actually, let's see if he sets any other cards. Does he? Yeah. No. Let's get rid of that. And this does not negate, so the effects of compulsory evacuation device still happen. Let's put Level Leader in the graveyard. Get rid of you. And there's honestly no need to. And bring you back. Oh, wait, no, that's right. Nitro Synchron only... Or, no, not Nitro Synchron. Quick Draw Synchron only can take part in a Synchro Summon if it takes the place of any... if it's used to Synchro Summon a monster with the word Synchron in its name. So, I could not Synchro Summon Stardust Dragon anyway. Please don't let that be Mirror Force or Sakuretsu Armor. Please. Mirror Force. Damn. B-list soldier. I only have one Junk Warrior left, but I still have a Stardust Dragon. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But that's good enough. And let's use both Quibble, Hedgehog, and Junk Synchron. Because why not? Let's go overkill, because I like overkill. Ah, finally. Roman's a bit of a rough duelist, not gonna lie. You really think it's over? Unless you defeat all the Darksiders by sunset, the King in the Netherworld will still resurrect. And we know there are at least 2 other Darksiders left. So in the next episode, Jack will reunite with Carly in Shadows of Doubt. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.